Okay. So last time we talked about how to resolve components, right? So we have a vector, let's say vector A, draw. We have a vector A, and if the vector is not in the x-axis or in the y-axis, you must resolve it. For you to resolve it, you need to know the angle or the length, okay? But if they give you the x component and the y component of that vector, you can find these two, right? Okay. And how do you find it? You find it using this equation, rx squared plus ry squared equals to r. You have to square root the whole thing, equals to r. And the angle is ry over rx. Inverse tangent of that gives you the angle. Okay, so this is just a vector for, okay, so that covered. Okay, so next slide. That's just a little recap. We did this equation, we did this question. I think so. Did we? Oh, yes, we did. Okay, so next question then. Okay, I would like everyone to take some time and try to understand this question. We'll draw it out if you need to, and let's discuss in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Nanti I will call someone randomly to, help me to do it. So Yazid drives from Kuala Lumpur to Kuantan, which is 240 kilometers away in the direction of 30 degrees north of east. I already told you north of east, how does it look like? Okay, look back at your notes. Okay, try first. Any questions you can ask me, okay? Okay, can I get Haiman and Haris to draw? Okay, Zoom ni boleh kan? Annotate ni. So Haiman and Haris. Haiman the tail to tail, Haris tip to tail. Is
Turn.
yep.
Haris kami tutel or tail to tail lagi.
Haiman is tail to tail. Haris is tip to tail.
Okay.
Okay. Nanti lukis on the screen pakai Zoom punya pen tu. Do you know how to? Okay, annotate.
Okay.
Ha.
Tip to tail.
And everyone else, please help your friend if they are doing it wrong. Bagi tahu Okay. Ni saya tolong. Okay, tu. Ni siapa Haiman yang tulis ni? Okay. Ke nak tulis tu? Saya tolong ni. Ini 65 kan awak nak tulis? Okay. Okay, lagi satu. Yang ni,
Kita tu 10.
yang ni cuba check balik. Yang ni cakap 10 degrees west of south. Cuba tengok balik. Awak buat macam mana? Remember, of south is your reference point.
Oh. Okay.
Boleh padam tak? Macam nak padam? Oh, boleh. And eraser. Oh, dah. Okay. Nampak apa yang berlaku? Control Z. Did I move it? Oh, saya terrosakkan apa yang ni. Saya, what happened? Oh, benda lain pula yang jadi. Tak apalah, saya faham lah awak buat apa. Okay, so yang ni 10 awak nak tulis? Aiman? Okay. Okay, Haris? What about you? Waiting on you. So this is 10. Okay, let me just redraw. Oh, ni dah elok balik. 10. Tapi, what can be improved from Hyman's diagram? Can anyone answer me? What can be improved in this diagram? If he were to answer this in the exam, can I give him full marks for this? Untuk lukis je? No. What is missing?
The tip arrow.
The tip arrow, betul.
Arrow.
Okay, lagi?
The magnitude.
The magnitude, yes. Okay, if they want you to be precise, you have to use a scale. For example, 100 kilometer is one box. For example, you are using the graph paper graph paper tu 100 kilometer is one box. So you need to draw two boxes, right? So ikut scale lah. And if this guy is 200 and this guy is 120, no, it's so this is 240. Sorry, saya sendiri salah. 240 and then 200 and 120. Okay. Kalau dia suruh label je lah. If they want you to be precise, meaning to say you have to find the resultant force using graphical method or geometrical method, you have to use a scale. But for just untuk lukis-lukis, it's okay. Sketching is okay. Okay. And then we are missing the y-axis and the x-axis. Okay, this is the complete one. Okay, so good try, Hyman. Haris? Haris already? Hello?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Conteng screen. Conteng. Draw on the screen.
Screen I draw the screen.
Okay.
Mana? Oh, sini.
Bawah ni boleh?
Sekali ni result. Okay, sekejap. First, this.
Oh, takut tak cukup tempat ke?
Saya tak boleh.
Okay.
Ini.
Haris? You need help? Oh, Haris. Hilang dah? Oh, stuck ke? What happened to Haris? He left me with the line. What happened? Haris pergi. Dia terkeluar ke? Oh, terkeluar. Okay.
Doktor nak tanya boleh?
Boleh, of course.
Yang labeling tu, boleh kalau kita buat simbol vektor sendiri. I mean that macam from Kuala Lumpur to Kuantan, we make it as vector A.
Boleh?
And so on.
But you have to define lah. Because I won't know what vector A is, right? So vector A is Kuala Lumpur to Kuantan. Betul, you can label this A vector. So you don't have to put in the magnitude lah. But the arrow is still needed. I mean the tip is still needed. Because I won't know your direction, right?
But it will only score by that distance and angle lah. Yang vector refer tu tak ada apa-apa lah. Just tambahan.
You don't have to. Because I already know it's a vector when you draw an arrow like that. Okay? Is that okay?
Okay, Doktor.
Okay. Hello, where is Haris? Oh no.
Hello Doktor.
Terkeluar ke? Saya tak jumpa nama awak tadi. Mana nama Haris? Haris. Asyik baik tak dalam kelas ni? Eish. Where is Haris? Kesiannya terkeluar ni. Okay, he's back. Unmute. Haris, what happened to you? Come on. Punya video rosak ke? Unmute. Okay. Haris is not responding. Can anyone volunteer for me? Anyone? Nanti Haris buat part lain. Siapa? No volunteers? So kena pilih lah ni. Okay. Haris is back. Dia keluar balik ke ni?
Ya.
Kesiannya. Okay, can we? Apa dia? Can you guys hear me clearly? Ke putus-putus? Dengar Okay, asyik baik. Okay, can we have someone with clear internet to help me? I need to know if you guys understand this. Can we have Aiman Amin? Are you there? Aiman Amin. Okay, can you please draw the tip to tail thingy? I mean tip to tail method. Okay, thank you. Okay, please proceed. Okay, I help you clean up that. Saya tak boleh nak padam ke? Oh, boleh. Okay, go. Boleh tak?
Okay. Can I draw that, Miss?
Kejap, I'm not seeing anything. Yep. Apa dia?
Can I draw here? Belah kanan tu.
Oh, yang ni? Yang merah ni?
Ya.
Okay. So, saya nak alih. Korang tulis pakai tangan kan? Susah jugalah. I'll help you, okay? I'm gonna write. Comelnya arrow ni. Draw. Let's use green.
Tuhat lah doktor.
Apa dia? Tak dengar.
Tuhat lah doktor.
So hard.
I try my best.
Oh, okay. Thank you. West. Okay. West of east and then 10. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you very much. Aiman apa tadi? Aiman Amin kan?
Yes.
Okay, Aiman Amin. Thank you, Aiman Amin. Okay, good. This is good. Okay, so he drew the arrow, ada tip and ada tail, the tip, the tail, the tip, the tail, and also the angle. Okay, so if I were to make this better, okay, I'm gonna add. Kita tak payah buat axis tak apa sebenarnya. Usually people just draw a dotted line like that. So when you draw a dotted line, you don't have to say this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. So you don't need to. So just dotted line. Contohnya macam ni. And dotted line 30. So that's enough. That's good enough. Okay. So now the next part is using the component method. Calculate the distance and direction of Johor Bahru from Kuala Lumpur. Johor Bahru from Kuala Lumpur. Tadi we started at Kuala Lumpur. And we ended our journey at Johor Bahru, which means that now it's asking for the resultant vector. Okay, so let's do it on another slide. Sekejap, kekurang ni. Okay, nak kena padam. Susah juga mati Zoom ni. Okay, kejap 5 minutes, no, not 5 minutes. I just need a minute. Okay. Okay, let me draw that nicely balik. Okay. So thanks to Haiman. So first we draw our y and x axis. Okay, good try everyone. If you did y axis. And then we have our vector which is 240, I think 240 kilometer, 30 degrees. And then 65 was 65 south of east. South of east. So I'm referring to my east. Oh, sorry, this is not the x-axis. This is the north and the east, west, and south. So 65 north of, already forgot. 65 south of east and south of east. Okay. 65. Is it 65? 65 south of east, 200 kilometer. 120, 10 west of south. Oh, I really can't remember stuff. Okay. So 120 kilometer, 10 west of south. West of south. Okay. 100. Hello, hello. 120, okay. 120 kilometer. Here I drew the tip of the arrow. Okay, that means I'm drawing a vector and I put in the magnitude and the angle. Okay, so it asked us to use the component method to find the resultant. Okay, so let's label this vector A just for our sake untuk senangkan kerja kita. And this is P and this is C. Can anyone give me AX, AY, PX, PY, CX, and CY? Let's do this one. Okay, come on. Anyone? Anyone want to try AX?
240 cos 30.
240 cos 30. Is that right, everyone?
Yes.
Why is it right?
Yes.
Why is it right? But why is it right?
It lights on.
Because it's
The angle
It's
is
a
right on
fine
the x.
Yes.
The angle is touching
The
on the
angle
x-axis. Yes. Thank you. So 240 and this one is sine 30.
Make
Okay.
fine.
Your angle should be the same. Don't switch around. Okay. BX is
200 cos
200 cosine 65. Okay.
cosine 60.
So this
200
should be
sine.
sine.
200
Yep.
sine 65.
Okay. CX
120
110.
sine 10.
10. Okay. Correct. 120 cosine 10. What should we be very careful when we are using this method?
Sine
The signs, right?
Yeah.
Which guy should be negative here? Is it AX? Is it AY? Is it BX? Is it BY? Or is it CX? Or is it CY? Which one should be negative?
BY, CX, and CY.
CX, CX, Y.
BY, CX, and CY. Correct. Okay, good. Everyone understands. Any questions before we go to the resultant? Baru nak resolve, eh? Okay.
For CX and CY, we can use 120 cos 80 and 120 sine 80, right?
Yes, you can. That's why I said
Thank
for
you,
this.
Miss.
Yes. If you are using directly, I mean, if you are just looking at the angle touching which axis, you need to be careful of the sign because it doesn't give you the sign correctly. Okay. But it's more straightforward to me at least. Okay.
No,
So it
sir.
depends. Yep.
Why is the vector C bounded to the y-axis? Kenapa dia tak bounded to the x-axis dia punya 10 degrees tu?
You can have it bounded to the x-axis. It's just going to be 80. So instead of 10, this guy will be 120 cosine 80. Boleh je.
No, I mean, kenapa tak boleh nak buat 10 tu dekat x-axis?
Oh, because the question said west of south. Remember, I gave you a little note yesterday. I think it was Tuesday. So west of south, let's discuss this again. So the difference between west of south versus south of west. 15 degrees south of west. Okay, what does it mean? So when I said west of south, it means that your reference is of south for this guy. So south is here. So it's going in the south direction, but it's also going in the west by 15 degrees. That is what it means west of south. But when you say south of west, your reference point is west. So you are going along the west direction. Okay, so this is me walking in the west direction, but I also want to go south by 15 degrees. So it's going here. Okay, it depends on your reference point. Of south, I am moving along south, but I want to go 15 degrees to the west. south of west, I'm moving along west, but I also want to go south by 15 degrees. Does that make sense?
Doctor, does it apply to all other quadrants?
All other quadrants, yes.
Oh,
North
all
of
right.
east,
Thank you.
east of north, should be the same as well.
Right. Thank you, doctor.
Okay. So did everyone get that or was that confusing? Jangan balik gambar ni. Clear eh? Ada orang confused tak? Let me know. We can discuss this later, privately. Okay? Nanti WhatsApp me if anyone is not clear. Okay, so let's move on to the resultant. So we already resolved. Now we can find the resultant. How do I find the resultant? Add all the x's together, right? Because you can only add vectors if they are in the same direction. Oh, I haven't solved for this one. Oh, malas nak kira. Okay. $240 times this guy. Does anyone want to give me the answer? Bagi laju. 85 kilometer. Sin 30.
120.
Thank you. And this guy, do you have it?
84.52.
Apa?
84.52.
Okay, thank you. This one?
Negatif 181.26.
Kilometer, okay.
Negatif 20.84.
Negatif 20.84 kilometer.
Negatif 118.18.
Oh, 118.
118.
Okay, so now you add the result. Thank you, Hakim. Hakim kan tadi? Is it Hakim?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we add the result. Oh, the cool. Okay, so now we add the resultant, which is we add the components in the x-axis. Sorry, 207. 85 plus 84.52 plus minus 181.26. Can anyone give me the answer for Rx?
271.53.
271.53. Oh, thank you. Okay, Ry, sorry. 120 plus minus 181. Betul ke saya tulis ni? This is 84 plus, oh this is minus 20. Nampak tak ada orang tegur saya? You guys following me or are you guys sleeping? 20. Okay. Is this answer still correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Saya lah salahnya. Okay, 120 minus 181.26 and plus minus 118.18 will give me
Negative 179.44.
kilometer. Great, thank you. And then, how do we find the magnitude? What's the equation? Rx squared.
Square plus y squared.
Okay. And what is the answer for this?
92.09.
24? Berapa?
3 to 5.465.
3 to 5. Ah, yes.
Point
5.46.
465.
Okay, and what is the angle? Mana tulis ni?
33.46 south of east.
Point
Always to
33.
decimal place ke lah.
33.
Kita tulis kat sini lah. Tak nampak. Inverse tangent, I'm just gonna write it. Ry over Rx is equal to, berapa tadi?
33.46
46 south of, berapa tadi?
east. South of east.
South of east. Okay, so let's look back at our answer if it's correct or if it makes sense. So Rx is in the positive direction and Ry is in the negative direction. If I were to draw this in a quadrant, if I were to draw this in the axis, which quadrant would it belong to? It's a positive and also a negative. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. Positive Rx, right? Negative Ry gives me R. Okay.
Quadrant 4.
So Rx is positive, Ry is negative, which gives me a vector in between these components. Okay, so it makes sense. And then the angle is 33.46. So it will always refer to the x-axis. So this means that the angle is here, 33.46. South of east is correct. Okay, always look back, tengok balik logik ke tak, yes?
Doktor, kalau instead kita use south of east, boleh ke below x-axis? Negative x-axis.
Instead of south of east, you use the x-axis. Okay,
Ataupun
it
lagi-
depends on the question, kan? Here they use the north, they use east, they used west. So you have to follow the question. So south of east is the correct one. Okay,
Thank
is
you,
that okay? It depends on the question, yeah. But I'm gonna penalize you for not following the question, but jalan kira semua betul kan? So adalah markah juga. Okay, so don't worry. But please try to, you know, be aware of the question, what it is asking for. Okay, any questions for me on this one? Tulis elok sekejap. 33.46 south of east. Okay, reference is east. I'm going along east. And then 33.46 towards the south. So it's this guy. Okay, any questions for me? Okay, everyone's okay?
Doctor,
Yeah.
regarding the tail to tail and tip to tail drawing, we only draw the triangle and parallelogram if it involves two vectors, right?
You only draw the triangle and the parallelogram if it involves two vectors. Yes, correct?
So if it involves like 3 or 4, then it's like this. Okay, thank you, doctor.
If it involves two or more vectors, it's like this. Use the component method, yes. But you can also draw. Okay, we're gonna take a look at that one. Like this. Like, tadi siapa lukiskan? I forgot already. This one was by Hyman, right? And then the other guy who helped me was, who was it? Teruklah saya ni. Thank
Aiman.
you. Okay, Aiman, thank you. Okay. So Aiman did it like this. So if you have more than two vectors, it looks like this. You can still find the resultant. You have to use your ruler. Okay, use your scale. Number 2, measure your resultant using your ruler. Convert back. Convert back using scale. Leceh ha. Component is the best method. Okay. But if the question can ask you, please solve this in geometrical method. So you have to know how to do it. Okay. So just now it was 200, right? 240 kilometer. So if I were to draw this on paper, I would draw this as 24 centimeter, right? and then it was 200. I don't remember the question. It was 200 and 120. Okay, so this be 20 centimeter on paper, and this one will be 12 centimeter. And then I draw this nicely. The angle is correct. I use a protractor, and then I measure my resultant to be, what was it? Answer kita tadi? Cheating jap. The answer is 325.46. 325.46, which means that it's 32 point. Mana pergi saya open tadi? Okay, it's here. So measure tengok. Oh, using a ruler I get 32.54 centimeter. Oh, I know what this is. I just use my scale. Convert it back. 325.46 kilometer. Okay, but geometrical method is not that precise. So maybe you will just get 325. That's fine. Okay. Measure pakai ruler tau. Atas paper. Angle pun measure pakai protractor. So the angle is here. Berapa tadi kita dapat? It was 33.46. So here you measure, oh, it's 33.46. And again, using the geometrical method isn't that precise, so maybe you'll get 33 je. Okay, that's fine. Is that clear?
Doktor,
Yep.
so maksudnya nanti macam kalau apa-apa test nak sketch kena tepat-tepat lah ikut scale.
Yeah, kalau sketch je, kalau if you're using the component method whereby you are calculating, then sketching is fine. But if they ask you to solve this using geometrical method, you have to lukis betul-betul. Okay, remember component is calculation. Component method is calculation. Math. Geometrical, lukis. Maksudnya kena lukis betul-betul lah pakai protractor semua tu. Okay, it depends on the question. Solve using the component method. Kacang. Solve using the geometrical method, lukis. Okay, so we have 10 minutes to go. Any questions for me? Let's just go over.
One more question.
Okay, boleh? Yes.
Is it tan negative 1 is the only formula to find direction?
Using the component method? Yes.
Okay, Doctor.
Okay. Do you need further explanation on that? Why? Okay dah. I'm just gonna accept it. Not curious why? But we already discussed. I think you forgot. Okay, let's just go over it. Opposite, adjacent, right? Adjacent is AX usually. Opposite side is AY. You have your angle here. The way to find, you are finding your angle. You know what your hypotenuse is. Let's say it's 10. How do you solve for your angle? Tangent theta is opposite over adjacent. Finding your angle is inverse tangent. Okay, because we are always solving for the components. We are always finding what is AY, what is AX. So this is the most straightforward method. Of course, you can find other ways if you can. Okay, as long as it's correct and it obeys this Pythagoras thingy.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Next one. The result of the multiplication or division is a vector, which means that if you multiply a vector A by any number, it's still a vector. Yay. 2A is still a vector. Okay, magnitude of the vector is multiplied divided by the scalar. It becomes a vector. The scalar is positive, the direction of the result is the same as the original vector, which means that if R is going to the right, multiplying it by a positive number makes a vector that is also going to the right. And if you multiply it by a negative vector, it's going in the opposite direction. Okay, that's pretty straightforward, I think. Okay, so multiplying, okay, we already know this one. It's easy peasy. Okay, physics example. F equals to ma. The force is in the same direction as the motion. Why? Because mass is always positive. Mass is never negative. So your acceleration is always in the same direction as your force. Okay, acceleration is a vector, force is a vector. Mass is a scalar quantity, no direction, unless it's weight, but this is mass, so it's scalar. Okay, elastic force, F equals to minus Kx. This guy is just a constant of the spring and it is a scalar. How do you know it's a scalar? It doesn't have that little arrow on top. Okay, so it is negative scalar quantity, which means that the displacement, x is the displacement, is in the opposite direction as the force. So force is in the opposite direction as displacement, or displacement is opposite to the force. Okay, kita akan tengok this example later. Electrostatic force, F equals to KQQ. Allah sebut susah. F equals to KQQ over R squared. This is just the unit vector which gives you the direction. It doesn't mean anything except for the unit vector. It shows you that the answer is in vector. So this guy is scalar quantity, scalar, scalar. So how do we know it's a vector? Because of this guy here, unit vector. Centripetal force. Again, there's no vectors here, but how do we know it's a vector? We have this unit vector. Okay, these two guys are quite difficult. So we're going to learn that in Sem 2. Oh no, centripetal is in this semester. Okay, so example 1.6. Oh, we have 5 minutes left. Okay, let me just do this quickly. The elastic force of a spring is determined by Hooke's law. F equals to minus Kx. So I told you, if the value of the scalar is a negative, the answer is in the opposite direction, right? Where x is the extension of the spring and k is the spring constant. Okay, x is the extension of the spring. Maksudnya, spring ni dia stretch out, dia meregang the word, meregang in x. Maksudnya x ni contohnya berapa? The length of the spring increases from 10 to 12. Maksudnya dia meregang sebanyak 2 cm. It stretches by 2 cm. Before it was 10 and then kat sini dia 10. Lepas tu dia turun lagi jadi 12. So the stretch is 2 cm. If the displacement is going down, the force should be going up by this equation because it's a vector that is in the opposite direction. So it says calculate the elastic force on the load if the spring constant is 150 Newton per meter. So let's do this really quickly and then we are done with our class. F equals to minus K is given 150 Newton per meter times with X. What is my X?
2.
Is it 2? Do I put 2 here? What should I do to put it inside this equation? Look closely.
Change the unit.
Change the
To
unit.
meter means
Change to meter. What is it in meter? 0.
0 to
Yes. Convert it. Okay. 0.02 meter. Now I can cancel it out, which gives me 150 times 0.02.
3 newtons.
Yeah, thank you. Minus 3 Newton. So just now the X was in the downward direction and the force is negative. If we define the downward motion as positive here, the force is negative here, means the force is going upwards. But if I'm really going to be smart about this, I would say negative displacement or downward displacement is actually a negative. Okay, if I don't want to be confused, I just put this as a negative because it's going downwards. So this guy becomes negative. Negative, negative gives you a positive. So positive 3 Newton going upward, which makes more sense lah. But either way, it's correct. It depends on how you define your displacement. Okay, so that was the example. Any questions before we end our class? No? So everyone is okay with this example?
Doctor,
Yep.
can you explain again about the using negative and the positive?
Okay, yes, I can. Do you have any other class after this? Hello?
English.
Ada English eh? Okay, can I write that down in WhatsApp then?
Yes.
Boleh eh? Okay,
Yep.
so I'm not gonna take your time. So nanti tak dapat masuk kelas English. Okay, so I will explain this on WhatsApp later and I'll see you next week. Okay, bye guys. Have a great day.
Thank you,
Thank you,
doctor.
Doctor.
Thank you, Miss.
Bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Bye. Korang tunggu apa?
Bye, Miss.
Bye.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Bye, doctor.
Bye. Take
you,
care. Okay. 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 Bye. Hmm.